the beauty of this place is just absolutely incredible.
Ken Mattingly left the confines of the command module cabin, 173,000 miles from Earth. As he orbited the moon, he had not only made visual observations, he had been operating a complex series of experiments.
Go. In 10 days, and most people see in 10 lifetimes.
I'm here at Dreamhack Austin with one of our CSL League of Legends semi-finalists, the University of Waterloo. How's it going, guys? Let's introduce ourselves.
Hi, my name is Chow. My in-game name is GamerXZ, and I play mid.
Hi, my name is June On. My in-game name is June Young, and I play support for the University of Waterloo.
How's it going? My name's Nick Lake Saratagos. I play top lane for the University of Waterloo.
Hey, I'm Daniel Platoon Zhao, and I play 80 for the University of Waterloo.
My name's Ryan Sherby, and I play jungle for the team.
Alrighty, guys. So we're here, finally. How's it feel to be here?
It was great. It was pretty good. We made it. Yeah, we made it. Pretty long journey.
Yeah. Well, as I scroll down to my questions. You guys went undefeated. You kept a real positive attitude about the whole thing here. You know, it's sometimes a tough proposition to keep that up all season long. What was the key for you guys to keeping that positive attitude all through your season?
I think it was probably our team dynamic and how we really like being around each other and playing together and just hanging out in general. So there are never hard feelings over mistakes, and we can get better and improve.
Yeah, going on that point as well, just not taking ourselves too seriously. We really just had fun playing the game, and we played the game the way we know how to play it. So.
Alrighty, well, you guys sure went on a roll. You didn't drop a game in playoffs, but who was your most challenging matchup during that stretch?
It's hard to say.
I think when we faced Dopa's team, because they're the only team that actually took a game off us, so they're probably the hardest team to face.
University of Massachusetts Amherst, the Minutemen, I believe, were the only team to take a game off us, and that was in the regular season. So I think that was the most difficult team that we faced.
Well, you're certainly up against a tough customer in Maryville. What's the key to victory, guys? What do you got to do to pull this one out?
I think we just have to play, like Nick said, we've been doing all season, the game we know how to play, and stick to that strategy. And hopefully we can give them a good run for their money.
Yeah, a big key to success for us is going to be out-strategizing them, because on paper, like head-to-head, they'll be better than us, so we need to figure out a way to work around that.
All right. So who on Maryville's roster is going to be the most satisfying person to rack up kills with?
It's hard to say, but I'd say that I think regardless of kills, I think in general it'll be satisfying just winning at all. Yeah. All of them. All of them.
Just playing against our counter matchups and our roles, just performing better is
All right. And what's your dankest meme? Hit me with your dankest meme, man.
Oh, teleporting 1v5 and then dying instantly.
Yeah. I guess that's our takest.
when your whole team says,
Yeah.
let's back, and then you
They out, get out of there, and then you just see the TP spiral again. And you're like, no, please. Yeah, that's our dankest meme.
All right. You guys got any shout outs, plugs while they're out there?
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Thanks, parents, I guess. I think biggest shout outs would be to the rest of our team that's not here with us. So Andre, our coordinator, and Sam, who played mid for us most of the season but couldn't make it, and I guess Josh and Raul for subbing scrims for us. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks so much for being here, guys. So glad to have you here. Looking forward to Sunday. Stay sharp, stay classy, get ready for Mage Patch. Let's go.
Mage Patch.
Yeah, that was quick. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Dreamhack Austin. We're here at the CSL Grand Finals for League of Legends. Glad to see you guys tuning in once again. My name is Reed Bradman-Belt, and joining me is Joshua Fekes Quest. You guys get to see our faces, our places, and everything else here at Dreamhack Austin, so thanks for tuning in. We're about halfway through our semi-final games here today. We already saw a pretty impressive 2-game victory already. Not quite what we expected, like I said. RMU with a very strong team all season long, but then McMaster's University with that 2-0 victory. Definitely an impressive games, if not upsets. So excited to see some more good League of Legends as we move into our second best-of-3 semifinal.
Yeah, well, that was the thing I was going to mention. Yeah, McMaster, they seem to have worked on all their problems and fixed them when they had it with the ones they had in the quarterfinals, which is mostly objective control. They showed against Carnegie Mellon that they were able to just dominate in 5v5 team fights, but they lost almost every objective early on. Not this time around. And against a team like Robert Morris University, they showed up. They did fantastic. Robert Morris, better luck next year, but McMaster, they're going on to the finals, and the next semifinal, it's going to be between Maryville and Waterloo, and that's going to be a big one. It's really interesting. We actually have a lot of support from both teams here. Maryville, a lot of staff on hand, a lot of parents on hand too. We got to meet a lot of parents. It's really cool.
Just met Chody Walrus's mom right over here.
Nice lady.
We exchanged pleasantries and words about what a great kid that guy is. So she promised me if they won, we get embarrassing stories, which we'll totally let you guys know.
Yeah.
Don't tell them because it's supposed to be a secret. Either way, there's lots of support here, lots of parents. We had Cat God's brother is here, and we've had parents from a lot of the different teams and players just here to support their kids as they compete in a different kind of collegiate sport, esports as it were. And it's actually pretty cool to see these guys all lined up. You guys can see them on your screen at different points during the broadcast. We've got Maryville University over here to our left, and to our left. There we go. And of course Waterloo University, they're over there on the right. And man, it's actually just been so incredible to meet the players that we cast. If you guys come down here to Dreamhack Austin, you can meet them too. You maybe even meet us. I did promise during a previous broadcast that Becca has been signed literally anything.
As long as it's legal to pull out here.
So definitely come take us up on that offer. And you can, of course, get to experience Dreamhack Austin here. It has been an incredible weekend. It's about to get even more incredibler.
Oh yeah, no, we're getting set up for the other semifinals, but let's go over what's actually already happened at CSL. I mean, we've been here for the past 3 days. It's our third day here. League was going to be on the Sunday, obviously, but on Friday, I mean, we had our CS:GO tournament, our Hearthstone tournament, our StarCraft tournament as well. The finals on those, and of course, CS:GO, SJSU, San Jose State University, 2-0'd Poly de Montreal, and then over on Hearthstone, UBC.
Super dominant. They won Hearthstone, they won Dota 2 yesterday.
Yeah.
That's about League of Legends, and one of only 3 teams remaining will walk away with $7,000 in first place scholarship money. You know how many textbooks that buys, Fekes? Like 2. But it's still worth it because
it all counts. It's all
you get
great.
money for playing League of Legends. You're going to college. It's going towards your college. You can say, "Hey, Mom, I just won all this money." She's like, "What'd you do?" Like, "I played video games." She's like, "Yeah, but how'd you win the money?" It's like, "No, Mom, I played video games. I won money." Thanks to the CSL at Dreamhack, man. Get your parents on stream. If you want to play more video games and be in school, tell your parents to watch this. Be like, "These guys are playing video games and they're actually super sick at it." So
that was
super
Kiwi.
big fan.
That was
of all
Kiwi
those
Kid who just
guys.
walked right in front of the camera.
Thanks,
so,
Kiwi Kid. Big fan.
Thank you, Kiwi.
What a guy.
I know.
I do want to thank all of the players and fans for stopping by too. It's been a pretty good day getting a chance to meet everybody. We're still working on getting the lobby set up here for our semifinal match between Maryville and Waterloo, so it's going to take a few more minutes. In the meantime, we have Fekes here to sell out and tell us about our wonderful sponsors.
It's not a sellout when I actually endorse everything I like. I feel very confident in talking about ASUS because they're the reason why we're here. They're providing the scholarship money. They brought the teams out here. They brought Rapid out here. You would think he would be part of us, but I mean, he kind of is, but I just want to make it a point there. ASUS is incredible right now. They actually have a nice booth set up here. All their laptops, the monitors, peripherals, everything, their towers. Oculus Rift. Okay, so what they also did was bring out a tower, one of their gaming rigs that is powerful enough to run the Oculus Rift. It's there for you to look at. It has the specs listed, so you know exactly what to look for whenever you're shopping for your ASUS product. And the Oculus Rift, that's incredible. I actually used to trash talk the whole VR thing. I thought it was a fad, but it's actually pretty damn cool, not gonna lie. And I got disoriented every time I wanted to do a barrel roll, but then it got to the point where like, this is so cool, I'm never disoriented. I'm gonna do barrel rolls all over until I vomit. I didn't quite get that point because I died, but it's all right. Azus, thank you for bringing us here. It's been freaking awesome.
Yeah, and of course, Brain Gear, you guys can see them up there, right there in front. No, it's not lighter fluid, it's actually brain fluid. It's a scientifically engineered compound that's going to get your brain in gear, give you all the focus and clarity you need. It's kind of like a 5-hour energy, but better for you. It's literally got 8,000% of your daily B vitamins in there. So you drink it, you feel good, you play good, and that's why Brain Gear has been a great sponsor of CSL all season long. So it's been great to have them here at Dreamhack helping support us, helping us get us where we need to go. So let's go ahead and cut to some of the players, and of course going to thank them for playing, and of course thank you guys for watching.
Still up, apparently.
Apparently, yes.
Thank you, Twitch chat.
I thought we were actually just cutting to players, but this is why there's like, this is why we're getting it out of the way between games, so you guys can sit there and watch this be awkward.
I mean, let's face it, the more camera time that I get, the more face time I get, the better CSL does, because look at this, I'm pretty.
Yeah, about that. That's why we keep me around. Becca does the real casting. I just stand here and look good, relatively speaking. But thanks for watching, everybody. Oh my gosh, it's been a long day. It's been 3 solid days of Dreamhack Austin, and yeah, it's only going to get longer. We've already had one semi-final matchup happen, and now we're having a semi-final matchup number 2 here. RMU already took a 2-0 victory, and now we're looking for our second grand finalist here between Waterloo and Maryville University. Looks like we do have some thumbs up from the different players getting their peripherals all plugged in and everything good to go. See Maryville over on my left. There's Waterloo over there practicing. It's actually just super sick, kind of surreal. Like, I don't know about you guys if you've watched the CSL all season long or not, but it's actually really cool to see. Actually get a chance to meet the players, their families, their sports coaches, and everybody from their schools that have come down. So actually just super excited to get a chance to meet everybody.
Yeah, no, it's been really awesome. Like, the whole experience has been great. Putting names to faces, getting to meet other people in the business, because this isn't just a small thing anymore. There's people from Twitch, there's people from, of course, Azus as well, all sorts of sponsors, a lot of representatives from all over the place. I mean, Kiwi Kid probably saw us back on the stream for some reason, but he didn't realize there was a camera there, bless his heart. But there's a lot of people involved in this, and it's been incredible to make all this come together, and it's happening now, and it's a big rush for me.
Man, it's a big rush for me too. I love coming out here and hanging out with all of these players, all these fans, man. We've got things packed out here at Dreamhack Austin, and definitely if you guys are in Austin, Texas, just come up to the 4th floor of the Austin Event Center and come check us out, man. It's totally free. You just walk up the stairs and be like, yo, go watch some CSL. It's exactly what the people at the entrance will say to you. I promise.
And of course, you can also follow us on Twitter to keep up with all that action as well, at Starleague. Of course, I have my own Twitter. Yeah, Rapid has his own Twitter as well. Mine is at Feques, P-H-E-Q-E-S, and we'll eventually type that into the chat as well.
I'm just rapid casting, so you guys are probably, if you haven't heard anything of us before, well, you're about to as soon as we get our lobby ready and underway. So that's like the plan. I'm not sure exactly what the progress bar is looking like. That it's like one of those Windows progress bars where it like gets all the way to 99%, and then you find out it's one of those progress bars that like loops back and starts scaling in. You're like, whoa, I'm so close.
Yeah, Windows enraged me as a kid when I was installing games that way. But
like, hey, you're so close. Just kidding. This is part 1 of 35,000 or something like that.
But there's plenty. I mean, obviously we're at Dreamhack. There's plenty to talk about. I mean, the players are great. Azus, love them. Starleague, it's been great being here. But there's so much more to Dreamhack right now.
It's true. I think they sold out over 2,000 BYOC spots
Oh,
for
man.
different tournaments down there. You
That is
bring
a
your
huge, it's a
computer.
huge area.
And that's kind of the theme of Dreamhack anyway. It's kind of what they've been known for is tons of open tournaments, just oceans and oceans of nerds playing video games. It's actually pretty cool. And most of them are doing it for money. So excited
Yeah,
to
that's
see
really
how
cool.
these finals are going to go. And of course excited to see how things are going to work out for the rest of the finals. It does look like the players are, ready to go, as ready as they can possibly be. I'm just waiting to get a super sexy invite into the game, which would be pretty great right now. 'Cause
Yeah, that would
as
be-
much as you love staring at our smiling faces,
Maybe
not
like
quite
a-
as good as League of Legends,
Let's just stare at our
unfortunately.
frowning faces.
So count your blessings. We could be frowning and super unattractive. Instead, we're just smiling.
It doesn't work with me because I'm attractive even when I frown, Rapid.
Okay, Fekez, this is not good self-esteem time.
It's always good self-esteem time because there's always a reflection somewhere. Let's face it. But okay,
You're
so
one of those people that when it's like 0 to 25, you're like, all right, guys, let's go, let's get in there. I'm like, look, we tried getting in there 25 times, it didn't work out. So
you can always try again. Life is just a bunch of struggles, and you only overcome the struggles by attempting them.
my number one used hashtag on Twitter is hashtag the struggle.
Really?
There's a lot of struggles out there, Fekez.
Are there statistics on that? Because no, I know Twitter actually does.
Yeah, I did
statistics.
check Twitter analytics. It's somewhat overused. Either way, we've got a few struggles here getting our players up and ready and into the
Hey!
game. And it does look like, oh my goodness, what is that? Is it a game invite? My dreams have been answered. Unfortunately, I can't join the lobby
is
because
full.
it's full. So
Hold on.
I'm gonna wait for a second invite and then we'll get in there. It's like I was so close. I had it in the palm of I had the mouse in the palm of my hand. And as soon as I can get into the room, then we'll go ahead and get this started up. You guys can finally watch some League of Legends. So
There it is again. Maybe. Hold on. The accepting button to do. I did it.
It's full again.
I got in.
Damn you,
VIP
Fekez.
access, guys.
All right. We got third time's the charm here.
There you
and
are.
Finally, we're in. All right, good to go. We are ready to go here. Just got to get the Maryville players in the right order, and then we'll be ready to go. We've got tons of Maryville staff, met their athletic director and coordinator
Oh, yeah,
earlier on. There's awesome people here, awesome players too. You guys are going to get a chance to see that here in just a second. We got readies coming out from the players, and we are ready to go here. Everybody in LCS quarters. So currently, looks like our CSL director is occupying one of the spots. So as soon as he gets out there, that looks
He
a
means
little bit
well.
serious. Yeah, it does look like
He'll
my
play a
lobby is
mean
on
Galio,
page.
a mean silver 4 Galio.
Oh man. All right, so we're about to get into Champion Select here for game number 1 of our best of 3 semifinals between Maryville University and the University of Waterloo. Here we go, Champion
We
Select
are
starting up on
underway.
the screen right now. So let's go ahead and get this going. We've got Saskia, the top laner, going to be picking first for Maryville.
Gameplay.
They are, of course, starting on the left-hand side in the blue, facing off against...
Yeah, Waterloo, of course. Waterloo. I'm sorry, I'm going over the gameplay. I was like, thinking of Maryville, they do have first pick here. And Saskia, he's a very big Darius player, so I either expect him to be first picked or banned possibly away from or for Maryville. Saskia, I tweeted once, that guy is Darius. You don't think that Darius has a mechanical challenge, a mechanical barrier to him, but somehow Saskia, he just does it better than everybody. So
That's true.
I expect him to either be picked or banned.
Kind of like the Fizz top lane for Han Solo that we saw in our first semifinal match. We might see some Darius counter picks. Usually a counter pick to Maokai in the top lane. Big axe versus a big tree. You guys kind of get the idea. So let's take a look at the bans here. Ban towards the duo lane there. Prototype and Papa Chow taking away 2 common picks down there. And so you can see Waterloo trying to limit a few of their strategies, whereas Maryville have just taken out a lot of just really strong power picks, taking away that Gangplank from Gamers XZ. He has actually been a monster with Gangplank, played it extensively throughout the round of 16, if I'm not mistaken, and is going to be banning that out there. First pick Malzahar, easy
for the Chody
choice.
For Chody Walrus, it is going to be a Malzahar jungle. So usually, we've been seeing a lot of Chody playing Gragas and Elise. 2 really obviously easy champions for him. He plays Kindred as well. But now with Malzahar jungle, he's decided to add that to his repertoire as well. And he's only had about a week to really, not even a week to really train with that one. But he feels confident enough. He's going to go throw it out there, see what happens here.
Yeah, and so a pretty easy first pick. It doesn't really give too much away. Everyone knows that it's strong, and so for first pick, you're probably going to be either grabbing a Malzahar or one of the more recently reworked mages. We are playing on patch 6.9, and that does mean that there's a whole lot out there for people to choose from. Items, and oh, is that a Vayne lock-in? It's Platoon!
Taking it away from Prototype, because Prototype Black loves playing Vayne.
But it's also Platoon's main champion. If you've ever watched this guy's stream, he does stream, he plays a lot of solo queue, and his Vayne is disgusting. So the Vayne pick does mean that you got to watch out for a few things. One of those is Maokai. So if that is going to be a Maokai's first pick for Sasuke, but instead, well, that's a Zac pick.
That must be a Cat God Malzahar.
No. That's probably going to be Zac top lane for Sasuke.
You think so?
That would make a lot of sense. See, because you have to find a way to get it onto Vayne. So one way is to pick a Maokai, so he can just twisted advance, so he can't get condemned. He's going to get on top there. But the Zac's another way. You don't have to play it in the jungle. You can always play that top lane, but you can play a lane Malzahar, just a little bit less common.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing where Maryville comes from here. And you have to wonder, is Waterloo thinking the same thing? They might be a little bit thrown off their game as well, but they do have the Kindred and the Vayne, so they do have a lot of power in these team fights if they can dance around. The two very mobile ADCs, two very, not only mobile of course, but powerful ADCs. Of course, you do have the Silver Bolt proc on the Vayne after every third attack, but yeah, having Kindred there is also going to add to that too. We're going to see what they decide to take into the mid lane, because they don't truly know who they're going against yet. But that's also the same for the top lane. Of course, Sasuke could still pick up a Darius.
That is true, man. There's a lot of flexibility here. This is a brave new world, and given that Vayne is taken away, we're most likely to see this prototype black AD carry choice be Tristana. He's played that extensively over the course of the playoffs, and in fact, in the round of 8 matchup, he actually wound up playing Tristana with heal instead of his trademark exhaust, which we all thought was a little bit controversial, made a bunch of memes about it, but in the end, they do wind up smashing that game wide open. Prototype never died, thanks in part to that heal. So he's going to be playing a very aggressive Tristana and most likely locking that in with, is that a Gnar?
That would mean that is a Malzahar mid.
Okay, so Cat God, very, very adept at playing a wide variety of champions, and that actually might have been a pretty cool bait to say, hey, we're going to pick Malzahar jungle, and then play it mid lane for Cat God.
He's still very powerful mid lane. They didn't really change too much as far as the mechanical play, besides taking away the null zone and giving him the void leads now. But now the null zone goes on your ultimate.
Exactly. They still gave it to you.
Yeah.
It's in a little bit of a different place though, so it does go off when your ult goes off. So that is a Gnar lock-in, and more importantly, that's a blind pick Gnar lock-in. So you don't know what you're playing that into, and this is actually Waterloo's chance to counter pick.
Yeah, no, this is really good. So Sasuke, I'm surprised he didn't play Darius. He might be leaving that as a pocket pick for the second game, just to kind of cinch in if they take the first game, or as a backup in case they lose the first game. So playing out some strats here. You do have Prototype Black on Tristana, so going to be trying to push those towers as fast as possible. Having 3 void leads can also help with that. Coming out from Cat God's Malzahar. We have Junhyung hovering over the Poppy. I mean, they do need a big front line. They do have the Braum, but they don't have much else to help them out besides, you know, a fight reset.
Okay, and so this is kind of an interesting team comp. It's going to be a Poppy locked in there at long last. And I think the big thing to notice here about the Waterloo team is that they've decided to say, okay, we're not going to maybe adapt too much of what we've been playing. And in fact, I think they might have played this exact team comp in the round of 16. I remember them playing something very similar. So the idea is that you've got a big, squishy, super high damage backline, and you've got these 2 big shield tanks to kind of sit in front and disrupt things. So ideally, that's a good way to go, and it might actually work out pretty well against Cat God's Malzahar. Malzahar does not do super well into Azir. They basically wind up playing PvE, but then Malzahar actually able to shove the lane out super hard, goes off and roams and has super good roam pressure. So Cat God is a guy that carried me to victory over Fekez in the CSL Asus All-Star match. So big fan of him and looking forward to seeing him come out here and possibly pick up a win with one of the strongest new champions in the new patch. But of course, Waterloo coming in as maybe slight underdogs had revamped themselves. And I was actually reading an interview with Waterloo on cstarleague.com, where you guys can read it too, where Waterloo actually said that they thought they had the strongest early early game of any team in this tournament. So some bold words, especially with a Vayne on the team.
Yeah.
So you'll have to watch out for a few things.
Yeah, I mean, they do. I mean, they obviously have mechanically solid players, and yeah, it's interesting. So we talked about this in the game number 1 of the first semis. Their comp, not really anything different based on any of the new patch. Of course, you do have the new items to work with, of course, but yeah. I mean, Poppy top, Kindred jungle, Azir mid, Vayne bot lane with the Braum. Really, just another day in the office on that one.
Yeah, very traditional team comp, let's put it that way. The Vayne pick is a little bit maybe unusual, but if you've ever watched Platoon play games, you know that it is by far his best champion. So there's actually going to be maybe a little bit of a battle between these two AD carries, since they are both so well known for that Vayne bringing the pain in the bottom lane. Jeez. God, that's terrible. Either way, excited to see Platoon on one of his best champions. Prototype Black has had a transcendent games on Tristana before, and of course Tristana, a pretty good hyper-scaling carry, and definitely puts the pressure on Vayne because of that range disparity there, so definitely want to keep an eye on the duo lane, and of course some of these other weird picks that are coming out, the Zac jungle. Haven't seen that since Hojin played it at 2015 Worlds for the Rocks Tigers there. He was a pretty big fan of that.
Well, I think Chody Walrus, I mean, so the Maryville team, they actually played...
I was talking about the global professionals team, but yeah, we haven't seen it in CSL before.
Well, no, it's not about that. It's that Maryville, for the most part, most of their 4 members of their team actually competed in the Challenger Series qualifiers. I think Chody Walrus actually played Zac in one of those.
He did.
Yeah, so I mean, he's not unfamiliar with the champion. I told you he had a deep champion pool between Kindred, Gragas, and Elise. I'm thinking he might have been pulling on Malzahar jungle, but Zac is also one of his champions as well. He knows how to play him, knows how to engage. They actually beat Avalanche playing Zac jungle.
That is true, yeah. If you guys are keeping up with the North American Challenger Series qualifiers, Maryville, a collegiate team, actually has such a stacked roster that they were able to compete against some of the best North American Challenger Series talent in there in the qualifiers, in the open qualifiers. You guys got a chance to catch those games. Unfortunately, they weren't able to continue there, but they are here at Dreamhack in the CSL semifinals, and I'm super excited to see these guys out on the Rift. We had RMU take a 0-2 loss earlier versus McMaster University, and now we see a similar, kind of a similar school, a big esports program started up there at Maryville. Seen lots of support staff here from the school supporting their team. We are about to get into Maryville versus Waterloo here in our second semifinal of the day. Hope you guys are enjoying your time. If you can, come down to Dreamhack, make your way down here in an orderly fashion. Please no pushing. Want to have a safe esports experience here. But if you want to bring your epic memes and the rest of your friends, family, whatever it takes, get down here to Dreamhack Austin, because we're in this game number 2. Game number 1, semifinal number 2. For, it's going to be underway. Maryville University, of course, starting off on the blue side, on the left-hand side of your screen. On the right in the red, that will be Waterloo.
Waterloo, they are... so anyone talking about Maryville, especially in the collegiate scene, you're automatically going to consider their opponents underdogs. What we saw in semifinal number 1, because you kind of do the same thing with Robert Morris University, upsets happen. So we're going to see what Waterloo has here, as they are grouping in their own jungle, maybe expecting an invade coming out from Maryville.
So this is kind of interesting. They're going with a high percentage, or if they win, they're going to win big.
Right.
So it's maybe a low percentage play, but there's a high reward on it. A little bit of a gamble. They could be giving up a lot of pressure on the bottom half map if Maryville had gone for an aggressive invade on the bottom half. They'd be able to get tons of deep wards, lane swap wards, position for the early jungle spawns, all kinds of stuff like that. But yeah, not going to see any action early on.
Well, one thing that's kind of bothering me about this is that nobody's throwing out deep wards. There could be a lane swap, which is actually going to be happening for Waterloo right now, as they want to have that Vayne in an easier lane than having a lane against a Tristana and Janna. They're going to be going up against Saskio on the Gnar, which is going to help them out quite a bit. A nice play by Waterloo, but now Saskio, they finally show themselves on from Waterloo's side, so they're privy. But it actually looks like Lake, Platoon's just going up there with Lake right now, and we'll see where Sherb decides. Yeah, Sherb is actually starting his Krug, so Lake, there's 4 members of Waterloo in the top lane.
So this is actually kind of interesting, Fekez.
Yeah.
What we're seeing here is in a very aggressive start and no lane swap wars placed out. Start for Waterloo. This is something that you don't really see too often in competitive play because you'll either see the solo laner Saskio here in this case for Maryville rotate down to his jungler, but because his jungler's on the opposite side of the map, this has taken us all the way back to like the very beginning of lane swaps, where it was important to have a solo laner who could kind of subsist and survive, even though he was going to get kind of punished. But this is a super weird combo here, Fekez, because you've got the solo laner and the AD carry with the support actually kind of roaming through the jungle around with everything.
Yeah.
But now, coming around here, Saskio in a little bit of trouble.
Oh, he gets condemned into the wall, knocked into the wall. First blood goes over to Jun Hyung. Not who you wanted to, but damage done. First blood down, and that goes over to Waterloo.
You did see Jun Hyung flash there at the end. He was about to tank up that cannon minion and the rest of the minion wave, so it would have been a little bit close. Better safe than sorry. A well-executed dive for the first blood going to Waterloo.
Yeah, Papa Chow coming up to the top lane, gonna try to protect that turret as long as possible.
Got those Janna shields, man.
Yeah, Janna shield's gonna make all the difference here. Chili Waller's here, also trying to clear out some waves. Actually getting a knock up on Jun Hyung and Lake.
That's a lot of damage.
Oh, that's
Lake
a
actually takes a turret
turret
shot.
Lake.
Where's the flash? The greed.
Oh, no,
it's coming in
the
there.
kill and the exhaust. Exhaust going down on Chili Walrus. He gets knocked. He gets actually stunned down from Winter's Bite. He gets Cell Division top tier. Now they have to defend the blobs, which hold on. So they do successfully defend him. That actually wasn't a huge loss for him, but Cell Division is down. That means he's not going to be doing any turret diving anytime soon.
I don't know, man. He could still go in for those turret dives. You have to play it really well. But okay, so this is a super strange start. You almost never see things go this way in competitive professional game. And now we're seeing Papa Chow getting out that deep pink ward. He's going to lose that immediately, and it only takes 4 hits to kill now on patch 6.9.
Yeah, it's actually really helpful for pretty much everybody. I love that they actually dropped that down. But hold on, Cat God, he is half helping Gamer XZ with just one Malefic Visions and I believe some auto attacks.
Right, Malzahar is one of those super exciting to play against mid laners where he's got his Malefic Visions. Depending on what you guys call it, you can just put it on something and it just takes damage over time. So you're not going to take as much damage over time from things like Deathfire Touch because it is a damage over time ability, but it's still going to put some extra damage down there. And for Cat God, his big thing is going to be shoving that wave. It's like Lil D's music video, save that money. We're going to be saving those minions in the mid lane. That's what we need to have happen this game. Just going to be shoving things every which way. Cat God, though, pretty low on mana, because these Malefic Visions are very weak early on. A big change there for Malzahar.
Yeah, and that's one of the big detriments to him, too. I mean, you can actually, so Malefic Visions, it does a lot of damage after a while, but you have to throw a few of them on, say like an Azir to really get the damage down. And fun fact, I actually do enjoy playing Malzahar quite often. I'm a semi main of him, and the matchup into Azir, you can actually walk up, throw Malefic Visions on him, and do quite a bit of damage, only until about level 5 or 6. Once those Sand Soldiers start getting up in damage, it becomes so costly to go up and do that. So Cat God, he's going to have some trouble. He went back, picked up Lost Chapters, so looking to sustain that mana just a little bit longer.
Right, so let's talk about the way that this game has progressed so far. The big difference that you're going to see is in the AD carries. Not a lot of CS for Platoon early on, but Prototype Black has had that lane all to himself. He's just been chilling, CSing, surprisingly doesn't have a cull, went for that pickaxe early, so he's just looking to have the power that he needs, because Prototype doesn't play like that super late game Tristana. He's always looking to go in and make plays even early on.
Yeah, we do see the call on the platoon. Hold on, it looks like Chody Boros is going to be making himself known in the Dragon side area. Did pick up the Ref Scuttler. Maybe going for a gank onto Gamer X here. But it looks like he's going to back off here. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Lake is going to be dueling Saskio and actually losing that duel, so not respecting the damage from him. And actually, Lake has a level advantage on Saskio in the top lane as well, so able to still get out-traded, and that's pretty telling for Saskio right now. Of course, you do have Doran's Blade against a Corrupting Potion. And I think the corrupting potion's actually like it has no charges left on it, so Lake has nothing really offensive
He
to
is
use.
out of corrupting potion charges. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that solo lane. Should be a pretty good lane for Gnar, and you can just see CatGod not taking any damage from those Azir soldiers. You just can't deal damage to Malzahar while he has that Void Shift passive up. So much damage reduction, CC reduction of anything you try to do to him. And you'll actually notice because Malzahar is so good at doing jungle camps with the way that his Voidling Swarm works, he's just actually taking the wolf camp right now, while Chody Walrus actually goes over and does his rift.
Yeah, so giving up some leeway to CatGod. Going to try to get him snowballing as much as possible. And yeah, he is losing a little bit on farm against the Azir, against GamerX, so going to try to pick that one back up. He is level 7 now. Could be looking to roam possibly, but that's the bad thing against the Azir. If you roam, he will take a turret pretty fast with his Sandstorm.
All right, so we do have a call here on Platoon. He's trying to sit in lane, trying to stack that up, but Prototype just doesn't even care. He's just gradually pushing down this turret, wearing away the Vayne, and this is not going to keep going well for Waterloo. They got that first kill. That was super cool, but wow, Sasuke almost picking up that kill himself.
Oh, he's going to try to throw a rock. Blake has a flash, but it was actually blocked by Sherb anyways. So nice play by Sasuke, forcing a flash out of his top laner.
Sasuke kind of punked him there. He's like, you gonna flinch? And he did. So Lake loses his flash there. A little bit scared, but that's how much respect you really have to give Sasuke. One of, if not the strongest top laner in the CSL this season.
Yeah, and he's definitely a huge force for Maryville. Of course, everyone on Maryville pretty mechanically solid, and Prototype Black actually taking down the first turret of the game, able to shove in, and of course that's what you do best with Tristana, shove in, take turrets, and rotate two objectives, the first one being the Drake, of course the first dragon of the game, going over to Maryville after taking the first turret of the game as well.
Yep, and this is patch 6.9, so these dragons are elemental dragons. Most of in the first two games of our first semi-final, we actually had Ocean Drakes spawn first, and in this game we actually had a Cloud Drake spawn. So that's going to give Maryville, the team that took it, 15 extra movement speed. It's not a ton, but it is a little bit of a boost to your early game rotations, and it'll help them out there in that regard. Still haven't seen a Flame or Mountain Drake, so kind of excited to see that. Oh, a nice shifting sands there from Gamers XD to get himself in a better spot, take him away from that incoming Zac.
Yeah, the Mountain Drake is really what you want if you're going to start pushing, especially if you have Tristana. Dealing damage, true damage to those turrets is going to be phenomenal for him. And yeah, we still haven't seen it this time. We saw the Inferno Dragon one time, didn't even touch on it because there was so much action going on after that. And then the Elder Drake came in, so we didn't really get a touch on the actual use of the Infernal Dragon for McMaster in the first semifinal. Maybe we'll see it this time around. We'll see how it goes. So far, the RNG has been a little weird because they've all spawned, I think, the same dragon the first time, like the Ocean Dragon.
Right, it does sort of change the way that you play the game depending on which dragons do spawn. So just keeping an eye on things. This has been a relatively passive early game, right as I say that. A little bit of engage there onto Prototype. He's rotated up to the top lane. This is a fairly common strategy.
Whoa.
Oh man, another good shifting sands there from Gamer to keep his team and himself safe there in the mid lane.
Yeah, Chody Walrus, he's looking for something. He's level 6, he has Cell Division back up, so he can make these ganks very effective if he lands it. And of course, if you're going to go onto CatGod, he's going to launch himself back over into Sherb. And if you do gank for CatGod, he will have a CC in place to keep them locked down.
Yeah, you really need to see Malzahar ult first and then have the jungler come in there, but bottom lane, Sasuke on that Mega Gnar.
Yeah, big Mega Gnar, but he's going to be knocked back by Lake on the Poppy using that Keeper's Verdict, keeping him away from his own self there, so yeah, nicely played by Lake. But Sasuke, he's back in, maybe wanted to go back in, misses Q there, and just actually has to go back as
he loses that trade pretty hard to
once he went back to Mini Gnar, stats lost.
Now top lane, Platoon actually did use his summoner heal when CatGod was actually coming towards the top lane in there for the gank. Platoon needed better positioning, got a little bit scared, and instead of his aunt sending him to live in another town in California, he just decided to use that summoner spell and walk back to turret.
Yeah, and we do see not too much action so far as like outside of Chody Walrus ganking in the mid lane, there's really not that much action. But CatGod is keeping up in farm, and Prototype Black he's using the Tristana very well. Took the bot lane turret, all right, that's great. Got the dragon, even better. Went to top lane, got that turret as well. And now we have a 1.5k gold lead for Maryville early on, and now they're going to go for the Rift Herald. Great objective control by Maryville.
Now this Rift Herald is not the last Rift Herald. This Rift Herald actually takes a lot of damage to do, does a lot of damage, and you cannot take it lightly, and I think Chody Walrus might have underestimated that a little bit, just because it is now super, super strong. The buff is even stronger than before, so it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, of course the last 20 minutes now, so it's a pretty substantial buff, and yeah, for some, if you're going to empower the reward, you might as well empower the struggle as well. So
look at these Voidlings, man, just rewarding themselves, spamming them out there in the mid lane, shoving the wave in. Not a whole lot the gamer can do about it. He's just having the wave cleared his turret, and just, you know, the minions dying everywhere.
You know, that's something we don't really take into account either. So Gamer X, he has 110 farm. You have to wonder how many of those are actually just Voidlings from Cat God's Malzahar. I didn't even think about that until now, because he can farm 3 extra minions almost per wave now.
That is true. You do actually get like 10 gold from Voidlings, so you kill a lot of Voidlings, you're getting a lot of gold. It's even more than the Heimerdinger turrets or stuff like that, so at least they're not like drop portal minions and you just don't get any gold.
Yeah, that's a shame.
They kind of look similar. They look like Voidlings, but I think they're actually Void spawn.
They're both from the Void.
Portal. Yeah, there we go.
All right, we're back. They're both from the Void, so I mean, I like the theme that they do with the Voidlings. They all kind of have a similar architecture, or like anatomy, I guess it is to them. And yeah,
Void champions. Apparently, the Void is purple. Fekez,
yes.
PIL.
Yeah, I would assume
all the
so.
champions. They had a champion that goes into the Void, comes out purple. That's kind of the way it works. Except for Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw's not purple.
Yeah, Kog'Maw. He looks like he's a swamp monster.
Maybe he's purple on the inside.
Well, whenever he explodes, it is purple.
Oh yeah, that is true. So maybe his true form is a Cathian surprise.
Yeah.
Where the Void comes from. Maybe he ate the Void. Maybe the Void is inside of him.
It's just a ruse.
Clever ruse. All right, so Waterloo starting to group up there in the mid lane, put a little bit of pressure on a Cat God. He will need some help to defend that, but actually just kidding. He's able to wave clear that all himself and keep that push alive. Zaskio in the top lane, though, has Chody there for support, but Platoon is not giving up without a fight. He's got Jun Young coming in.
Yeah, they'll be all right for now. And Prototype Black able to go into the mid lane and take out a little bit of damage on that turret also. So Prototype Black, they are structuring around him, around objective control, and I love it. It shows a very in-depth strategy right now, and they're executing it quite well. In Waterloo, they're falling behind ever so slightly. The gold lead is still only about 1.5k, a little bit less than that now, but the objective control, the map pressure, it's all in favor of Maryville right now. Or Maryville, sorry about that.
And here, Dragon number 2 coming up in just a second. We talked about that objective control, Fekez, for Maryville. We're about to see that once again.
Like it is.
This time around, it is, I believe, the Ocean Drake that's spawning. No, it's actually Cloud Drake number 2. So if this one's actually taken by Maryville, that's going to give them, I think, 30 movement speed in addition to, or 15 extra on top of the 15 they got from the first one. Doubles it up, and that's going to make it twice as effective, Fekez.
Yeah, which that's actually really good for Prototype Black.
Doubling is one to do, yeah. So Prototype's going to be moving around all over the place. He can reposition a little bit faster, and that just creates this big speed gap between both sides. You can see every player on Waterloo has just brown boots, whereas over across the board, while yes, there are a few upgraded boots, all of them are just going to be that much faster. So when you upgrade your boots, you get a boost. And then you get the extra boost from that 30 movement speed from those 2 Cloud Drakes.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see how they play that one out, how they use the movement speed. This is a very low kill count game so far. There's only been that first blood in the top lane, but so far it's been an objective game and it's won by Maryville. But with that being said, I mean, Waterloo, they still can team fight pretty heavily with the kind of comp that they have.
Man, I've seen games where 1 kill is a high kill count, man. At least there's been stuff going on, and still a remarkably close game between both teams. If you actually check out the gold tab, you can see that they're actually on pretty similar gold counts. There's about a 600 gold difference between the 80 carries, and I think that's where the biggest difference does lie. But junglers are within a couple hundred gold, top laners, that's actually 500 gold difference there between Lake and Saskio. So some differences are starting to come out here as Maryville creeping ahead. Maybe not in the kill count, but definitely on top of those objectives. Right as I say they're on top of the objectives, the Rift Herald is about to get taken down. It will get taken down. You really want to give that buff over to a laner now. Most likely your solo mid laner or solo top laner, just because it only works when you're by yourself. When you're jungling, you're never going to get to use that buff to its full effectiveness, because Doom's Eve only works when there's no nearby allies.
Yeah, they did give it a Sherb though, so yeah, it's not going to be effective here. Hold on, Jody Walrus flying into the top lane here. Saskio, he's there. He's not Mega Gnar quite yet, but the Lamb's Respite does get thrown down and drives him back. Saskio flash in and not going to be able to hit the Gnar ultimate. Platoon blows his heal. Now,
here comes
Cat God. Here goes Cat God. Who's he going to lock down? It's going to be Sherb. And Sherb, he's going down. Oh, Papa Chow!
Papa Chow is the last.
Oh my God! All right, Jody Walrus taking out Platoon in the backline. And that's actually the first kill for Cat God, taking out Jun Hyung. Maryville, they are running all over Waterloo right now.
And Waterloo just fell apart that fight. Either they didn't see Cat God off there to the side. We got some big cheers in the audience, man. You can see Maryville just really kind of out of nowhere. You said low kill game, man. Maryville disagree, Thekes.
I guess so. Hold on, Prototype, he's not done. He got a crit right there too. So that's going to explode that onto GamerX, take his health bar way below half health, and may be able to shove into this turret by himself.
And I was really hoping for this new Rage Blade Tristana.
No.
Unfortunately, that's super bad, so you probably don't want to go with the new Rage Blade on Tristana nowadays.
No.
But, it's important to talk about what that team fight really reveals about Waterloo. They didn't see Cat God coming up for the flank, and all of a sudden it was a little bit too late. Great prioritization from Malzahar, and of course, great pushing of his lane to win not only top lane, both turrets gone there, but to take that first turret in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, so Prototype making his presence felt all over this map after that team fight even, being able to take out another turret. So it's 4 turrets to 0. They were able to get that inner top lane turret as well. Maryville, they're running all over this map right now. They have the 2, I'm saying that figuratively and literally, because they have 2 Cloud Drakes giving them 30 extra movement speed out of combat. So anytime they ever take a turret, go through the jungle, they're going to be going at a much faster pace and possibly get the surprise onto Waterloo, as might not be expecting them to get there that fast.
Surprises everywhere. My surprise when I came to Dreamhack Austin was that it is so awesome here, so you guys should totally come down here too. If you are here at Dreamhack Austin watching us, then make sure to come up and say hi afterwards. We would love to get a chance to meet you guys, and of course you can meet all the players up here as well. So, starting to get into a little bit more of the mid game. Starting to see some power spikes come out here. Jody Walrus, pretty big, 2-0. And of course, on the other side, I mean, Jun Hyung has the only kill, but Platoon's actually in a pretty good spot too. He's finished his cull. He's actually building up a little bit of a weird item path, probably going the same route as Prototype Black is going. Still kind of strange to see a Vayne do that though. Started out seeing like Bloodthirster Vayne, and then it was like Infinity Edge Vayne, which I think is what Prototype plays nowadays too. So kind of going a very similar build to the player that he's playing against.
Yeah, and I really like, so Prototype Black, obviously he plays, you were just mentioning, he plays Vayne, that's his main. Platoon mains Vayne as well. But I like Prototype's attitude here. He's like, I got nothing to prove, I want to be wanting this Vayne. I'm just going to go take turrets. They're more important right now anyways than me satisfying that I can probably outwit a Vayne. So, very nicely played all around by Maryville. And Prototype, he's 0-0-0, but he is doing some work with this Tristana's turret push.
And definitely putting in a lot of work. You could really see him sort of adjusting his play style. And I think he's come out on Twitter and said it a couple of times that when you play competitively, like with your team, it's a much different experience than playing in solo queues. So definitely a night and day difference there. You can see Prototype, listening to calls, helping out, making these big rotations for objectives, and really it's just been helping out Maryville incredibly well so far. 4-1's the score, but I think the bigger difference is going to come in those objectives. Already 4 turrets down, and those 2 early dragons taken from Maryville.
Yeah, and of course the dragon will be up in 10 seconds, I should say. Does it show what symbol is going to be next? Yeah, it's the, actually I don't remember what symbol that is anymore, and I wish they had some sort of overlay that popped up whenever you clicked over it, but we'll find out in just a moment. Dragon number, number 3 is up actually.
Number 3,
yeah.
There are no dragons picked up there by by Waterloo. So Maryville, do have their 2 Cloud Drakes. But here comes Shody bouncing in to no avail.
That's about all he does. He does drive back Waterloo, though. They do not want the full-on engage. Saskio,
the nice dodge.
Nice dodge as the keeper's burning through the top lane. Saskio, he is not going to respond and try to pick up that kill on the lake. Driving him back is all he wants right now. Maybe trying to force out a teleport.
Well, he actually did use Flash to try to get that kill, but couldn't really rotate down. But in the same time, we're seeing this dragon started out. This is the Ocean Drake.
Yeah.
And in case you guys are still unfamiliar with the dragons, I'm going to be going over some of the patch changes during the game. So if you get tired of hearing about that, trust me, you want the people in your solo queue games to know what these dragons do. So bear with us as we explain some of these new changes.
Yeah, and that's all very important anyways. I mean, we still haven't seen the Mountain Drake, so we still have to talk about that one. But we have seen one Elder Drake finally, one Inferno Drake as well. But mostly it's just been Ocean and
Ocean and Cloud.
Yeah, Ocean and Cloud. It's been mostly those, and not just in this game, but all the games so far. It's been very interesting that the RNG is working like that. I don't know if that's a setup, like a tweak to the RNG, if it's not truly random, or if it's based on a situation of some sort.
Sometimes lucky, sometimes never lucky. Either way, we'll talk about that as the dragons continue to spawn. But yeah, some extra regen, some extra move speed. What's not to love here is now Maryville starting to really use that objective control that established earlier to actually get some things done. So they took Dragon, now they're looking to push down for maybe a second tier mid lane turret, but look at Prototype. He's actually bouncing over walls all the way to his top lane to get that 1-3-1 split push action going on.
Yeah, he's been doing that this whole game, and it's been incredibly, working incredibly. You can see he has 0 kill participation. Hold on, Chody Walrus on to Gamer X, but Lamb's Spike gets thrown down and gonna save him for a bit. He's gonna stream and shuffle out. Will the Malefic Visions help out? No, he still takes it down even after the heal. Now Malefic Visions onto Sherb, and that's going to back them off. Very nice pickup by Cat God.
Gamer, I mean, you kind of need to stay in that Kindred ult, man. It's kind of what it does. It keeps you alive, and he did not stay alive after getting out of there. Had that delayed explosion and the explosion of their second tier turret. Maryville just going from objective to objective. Chody Walrus going back in.
Chody Walrus with the plays. Prototype Black finally on the board in this one. Platoon goes down as well. Sure, he has Malefic Vision on him. He goes down. Triple kill for Prototype Black, and now they're advancing onto the mid lane inhibitor turret.
I would say mom get the camera, but there's actually a mom here with a camera.
They got all the cameras.
So
yeah, they're good.
They've already got that highlight reel taken care of. A triple kill for Prototype, and this is going to be the first inhibitor of the game here for Maryville. And they can almost instantly rotate up towards the top lane and take down a second inhibitor. Some great objective control, and it's just getting more and more difficult for Waterloo to deal with it.
Yeah, there's so much pressure on them right now. Mid lane inhibitor down. It looks like they may be backing off, possibly just get the Baron and just seal this whole game up right now. They have so much power behind them.
Maryville taking a very dominant lead here, now 8-1, doubling up their kills, and just taking it slow and steady, not willing to overextend to take that second tier or that second inhibitor top lane, just saying, hey man, that inhibitor's not going anywhere. Just pick it up later on.
Yeah, I mean, essentially they can, of course, they can just engage anytime they want. And again, the Baron is still available, and they really have all the options in the world to make right now because they have control of everything. We're going to see, I think, possibly, looks like they're not.
I mean, Baron's up. Yeah. You could go do Baron. Yeah. It's kind of like the desperation call Waterloo. We're thinking about, hey man, let's go for it, let's try it. But just really kind of futile with how quickly Papa Chow's Janna is able to come back from base, all that extra movement speed. So putting that to use, and now it's actually going to be Maryville looking to take a Baron of their own.
Sherb is caught. Lamb's Respite. You can't use it while you're locked down. Cat God taking up that kill, and that's going to be. They're not even going to go for Baron. They're just going to go for the kill for the Nexus.
If only Sherb had a Quicksilver Sash to cleanse that suppression. Actually, it does still cleanse suppression.
It does.
It doesn't cleanse debuffs now.
Right.
Still cleanses CCs, but that
it's
is
still good that if he had one, though.
Yeah, it's true that. Inhibitor going down, and now a slam into the wall there from Lake. He's trying to make it back to his fountain, but they're giving up the entire base to Maryville.
Yeah, Super Minions are almost in the base. They are going to be pushing in pretty soon here. Malefic Visions on Gamer X going to drive him back into his own fountain here. There's a minion wave. This may be it. The Prototype Black can take these turrets down so fast. there's the big ultimate coming out from
Jun
Jun
Hyung
Hyung. He's trying to get
dies.
yeah, he just goes in and dies. Anyways, Lake, he gets knocked up. He gets knocked up once again. Lamb's Spike going to keep him alive, but it's not going to be able to keep Gamer X alive as it explodes on his head. Chody Walrus picking up that kill. That is an ace. 14-1, 8 turrets at 1, and all Dragons going over to Maryville. They take game number 1 in the semifinals.
Yeah, they will just kind of draw things out there a little bit, but the Nexus explodes 14-1, the final score at 26 minutes and 50 seconds. That is a game 1 win for Maryville over Waterloo University. So congratulations, Maryville, 1 game away from advancing themselves to the grand finals of the Starleague finals here. Dreamhack Austin, they are in front of a huge crowd. We've got the Maryville side over here, we've got the Waterloo side over there, and everybody's watching some great Collegiate League of Legends. So super excited to have all of these people here. Excited to see you guys watching at home and wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in to this Collegiate Starleague finals here, of course, on Twitch TV. Big thanks to our sponsors at Asus, Republic of Gamers, and Brain Gear for helping us make these finals possible. Stick around, we'll be right back after a short break for game number 2.
Here we are, live from Dreamhack Austin. I am here with one of our semifinalists, Maryville University. Let's go around. Let's introduce you guys all to the crowd.
I'm John Pomachali.
I'm Marco, known as Prototype. I'm Andrew, CKG.
Cody Walrus.
I'm Tony Chow, also known as Saskia.
Alrighty, well, finally made it. You're here in Austin. How's it feel to be here, guys?
Feels pretty good. Feels good, definitely.
It's exhilarating.
It was really good meeting new people.
So, you guys were absolutely unstoppable this year. It was kind of ridiculous. What has been the key to your success overall?
I think it was mostly just the pickups individual. We're all really strong players. We came from all over Canada and America. We were all recruited. We're all already high on the ladder, and I think our individual skills have really basically pushed us over the edge in this league.
We really just worked on synergy as a team. We've been here for the whole season together, and that just really transpired into what we've become so far.
We practiced a lot of solo queue and played some scrims, and we just practiced in NACS and got a lot of experience off that.
I would definitely have to say that a lot of our preparation definitely helps us. Like, we figure out what the other team is going to do, and we just straight up counter it before they can actually pull anything off.
I think our strategy and adapting to lane swaps and certain picks that other people do, and we tend to be able to counter it very effectively.
Alrighty. Well, you guys have had a pretty big hype train going through this playoffs. You've become a lot of people's favorites to make the tournament. How has that pressure affected you? Have you felt it?
Not really. I mean, we kind of expected to get here, and we're pretty much expecting a perfect season. Anything less than that is pretty much a failure on our end, so really excited.
It's a pretty strong words, but I would have to agree. I think it's definitely an all or nothing for us. That's how we feel. We're not going to go in any other way.
Alrighty, well, you guys are up against Waterloo in your semifinals matchup. What challenges do they pose to you guys as you approach that set?
None really. We just outclass them in every way. Expect a 2-0.
Should be a fun match. I mean, we played them in scrims before, and it was winning our way, but we'll see how it goes this next time.
It happens.
So you guys are high quality players. Have to assume you've got, you hold yourselves to a high standard, but how do you deal with tilting? How do you deal with it when you start to tilt?
You're gonna want to ask that question to Marco.
I don't tilt in competitive matches. I definitely do not tilt in competitive.
That's for solo queue.
Yep.
I think mostly everyone keeps themselves on track because they know what the game they're playing, the competition, the tournament is more important than what's ever going on in their head at that moment. They can forget about the madness, or they're messing up. They can get over it really quick. Because what's most important is the win. So being tilted is not, it's just not effective. It doesn't get you where you want to be.
Well, that's awesome. Do you guys have any more shout-outs, plugs?
Shout out to our awesome manager Dan for bringing this all together. He put in a lot of effort to this.
Also, just the entire school and the university for starting the program and accepting it. I think it's a big deal, and one of the very first universities to actually start a program, so thanks to them.
Shout out to my family, the biggest mama's boy here, so thanks for coming.
Follow me on Twitter.
That's the same as like you asked me.
Follow me on Twitter, DK Papa Chow.
Shameless plug.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Collegiate Starleague Grand Finals for League of Legends here live at Dreamhack Austin, at the Austin Convention Center in Austin, Texas. My name is Reed Rappin Melton. Joining me once again, as always, Joshua, Tekkes, West. As you guys may be able to hear behind us, a whole lot of awesome esports fans. Of course, we got fans in our booth here on the 4th floor of the Austin Convention Center. So if you guys want to come down and check us out, much like many of the other Maryville fans you may or may not have just seen on your screen, you guys can come up here to the 4th floor of the Austin Convention Center and yeah, come check us out. We're right in the middle of the floor. There's big CSL banners up there. You'll know where to find us. Bringing League of Legends back to Dreamhack. Pretty excited about that, Tekkes.
Yeah, we're the only ones here at Dreamhack that are even doing a League of Legends tournament. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It means that I'm the focus of attention. I love it because that's how everything should be.
Get this guy out of here. We are coming back with game number 2 of our second semifinal matchup of the day. We've got over $11,000 on the line. Looks like both teams are in order, in lobby, ready to go here. Maryville with a pretty dominant victory. A little bit of a slow start, but they still won at game number 1 pretty convincingly.
Yeah, I mean, it was a slow start, but once the explosion happened, it didn't seem to ever stop. Maryville, they just ran all over. Prototype Black, they focused so much on not focusing him.
He was just a turret killing bot. He just walked from bottom turret to top turret and back and forth. It was pretty great objective control.
Yeah.
We've got ready calls in from Maryville, just waiting for Waterloo to confirm that everything is good to go on their side. And it has a few points of weaknesses in the mid game, especially. Had mid laner for Waterloo Gamers kind of struggle to play a lot versus that mid lane Malzahar. Very difficult to play against. And I didn't even expect it for that to be mid lane after seeing it so strong in the jungle.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be a jungle, but I mean, Chody Walrus, he hasn't had that much time to practice the Malzahar jungle. We saw it in the first semis. Device played it, and it worked out for him. But that's not for everybody. I think the patch came out Wednesday, and that's not enough time to be comfortable for everybody. Yeah, Chody Walrus. I mean, obviously Cat God. The mechanics of Malzahar are pretty much the same as far as mid lane goes, though.
Right. But it is kind of an even playing field, and sometimes maybe you're not very comfortable with a champion, but players aren't very used to playing against it in solo queue. In fact, we actually had the Maryville players. They actually rented out a room at their hotel and set it up for like a training facility kind of thing to get their practice on. Let's see if that practice plays off here as we enter picks and bans for game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, practice makes perfect, and they have been practicing this entire week, and it's supposed to be a vacation, but when you're a collegiate player, you don't ever stop practicing. You have to stay better than everybody else at all times. Malzahar, we're going to get to these picks and bans. Malzahar being the first one banned out by Waterloo. So you would think taking that away from Chody Wallace. No, taking that away from Cat God, because magically he's now a Malzahar main.
Well, the interesting thing about this Malzahar ban is that they're banning it out on blue side. Traditionally, if there's one very strong champion, then you kind of want to leave that champion open if you're blue, so that you can then first pick it or put that ban pressure on the red side team. But just going ahead, taking it out, and there's a Morgana ban to follow.
Yeah, Morgana, Gangplank banned out. Rise also taken away. That will be taken away from Gamer X, as it is a first pick potential. We saw how powerful Rise was in game number 1 of our first semifinals. Duosec just exploded on Rise. So they're going to take that away from him, make sure that Gamer X does not have that opportunity. And of course, yeah, you said Morgana and Caitlyn also banned out by Waterloo. I think that was actually the ban out from last game too. I know they focus on bot lane.
Right. The Morgana Caitlyn ban did come through to Prototype and Papa Chow, kind of reactionary to this new patch. That's kind of what they've been playing for good turret pushing. You're going to see a lot of Caitlyn picks. So with a Nidalee final ban there against Sherb, first of all, we do still have that Gangplank Rise, so focusing gamers' priority picks. But Sherb just Lake locked in the Gragas most likely for Sherb. Could see that top lane.
Yeah, I mean he does kind of go in the top lane nowadays. Easily doable. But we do have Papa Chow on Janna. He's very comfortable on the Janna, very efficient on him. Of course, Cat God with the Azir as well locked in.
And the Azir pick is actually less for Cat God and more to put pressure on gamers, because he's actually now really heavily limited. He's going to get counterpicked because Maryville are on the red side, but B, he's had 3 champions that are some of his best champions banned out against him, so that's going to be what they worry about. Currently just looking for duo lanes, and it looks like Waterloo are going to lock in their duo lane for Thresh and Lucian.
Yeah, that's going to be there's still not much showing for Waterloo right now. You don't really give away too much by showing the Gragas. He could go both lanes, but Gragas pretty standard pick. It's really, don't blame him for picking that one up. So one thing that we have noticed, not in a huge amount of new mid laners coming out. And that might be in a response of a comfort level that these players just have not been able to practice with the new mid lane champions.
Right, if you guys are playing solo queue, you're probably experts at which champions are good, which champions maybe aren't quite so good, and probably know a lot of what to play. But for these competitive professional collegiate players, they actually need to have a higher level of understanding of the champion, not just how to play it, but how to make it work in their team compositions. So the analysis probably isn't there yet about which new champions work in which team compositions, other than Malzahar, which I think it's safe to say works pretty well in pretty much anything.
Yeah, he's Malzahar's a solid state right now, and unless you want to call it like solid state overpowered, he still has his weaknesses. He's still immobile, but yeah, he's pretty powerful in both the jungle and mid lane. That's saying a lot for a champion who didn't really show up unless it was a niche pick in solo queue. But on the other side, we do have Tony Welvers going on to the Rex side. Prototype Black this time.
Whoa, baby, that's the Zed locked in.
No Quicksilver Sash this time.
No, man, he is going to be going off. Where's my Trundle picks, man? I want to see that Trundle pick just completely destroy some of these top lane tanks. Instead, it is going to be a Maokai picked up, so no Trundle to kill the tanks, just going to tank it up versus other tanks up there in the top lane. But that Zed pick is so hype because now there's no way to remove that death bar. You're always going to get that damage down.
And also with that, you have to build a Quicksilver Sash. Oh, actually, no, you're not. That's what you're saying, actually. Never mind. Disregard that. Yeah, the Quicksilver Sash does not remove the debuff. So, with that being said, Waterloo, they are lacking a little bit in the magic damage region. Nautilus and Gragas, yeah, they do magic damage, but it's not going to be an extraordinary amount that you would have from a mid laner. We're going to see how the Maokai works up against the Nautilus in the top lane, specifically how Saskio's Maokai works against Lake's Nautilus, because Saskio, he is extremely good at almost everything he plays in the top lane. And it's amazing seeing him play different champions because, like, oh, I haven't seen that. I don't know if that's a niche pick or if that it's just an answering to a team comp. But
that's pretty much my reaction when I saw you here at Dreamhack, Becca's. I was like, well, I haven't seen that before, but you know, you're kind of a niche pick caster. You're also a really good one. Well, it's like Malzahar. You know, Malzahar's a niche pick, but you're like the Malzahar of casters. All of a sudden, super OP. Here at Dreamhack, bringing out the synergy, the goodness of our caster team comp. That's the way it works.
Good
right?
backpedaling.
I dug myself all the way out of that hole, so
yeah,
it's good, and we are with champion picks and bans for game number 2. We've only got maybe one game coming up after this, and then it's into our grand finals. It's going to be a best of 3 grand finals. We do have to call, like all good things, it must come to an end. But we're going to be giving away over $11,000 in scholarships to our top 4 teams, all of whom competed here today. So definitely a big thanks to our sponsors at Asus ROG, Brain Gear, and Twitch for helping us out this season and helping us support all of these fantastic collegiate athletes.
Yeah, and it's been an incredible ride. It's all going to come to a head pretty soon. Maryville, of course, going to go try to just get a 2-0 and get this out of the way. Waterloo, they want to extend this as much as possible. Their dream is almost out. But, of course, you still have second place prizes, but you want that third place, or you want that first place prize.
Yeah, maybe
obviously.
you want that third place.
I don't
And
want third
first
either.
place prize, $7,000 for your scholarships. And I mean, hey, for Maryville, they already actually have full scholarships to the school to go to school, not only go there to study, but also because they're pretty good at League of Legends. So depending on which school wins this, it'd be a big win for Waterloo, not only defeating one of the best collegiate teams in North America in Maryville, but also just really kind of putting themselves on the map. Waterloo has traditionally been a very strong school in the CSL, but especially in the last season that I believe McMaster University picked up a win in. We actually didn't see Waterloo perform very well there, so looking forward to them to put their name on the map here at the CSL. We have about a minute left in Champions Select before we finally get into our second game here in our second semifinal.
Yeah, it won't be too much longer here. The crowd is pretty raucous here. Some of it's for us, some of it's for other things going on at Dreamhack. It's actually a lot of fun here no matter what.
And there is a lot of things going on in Dreamhack, whether you're upstairs on the 4th floor here with us or you're downstairs near the main stage. Dreamhack Austin has been awesome, so if you can at all, get yourself down here. It's been just an incredible weekend here. It's been just crazy getting to go out and experience Austin, Texas. You got to see a lot of awesome people here at Dreamhack. If any of your friends are here, get them to come by. Check out the CSL Grand Finals because it is going to be so sick.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. You're going to see the best teams in CSL compete for the grand prize. Maryville, they want to get there, of course. McMaster's already there. McMaster, honestly, after seeing McMaster, I don't know who would win between McMaster and Maryville if Maryville goes. It's going to be
close, and we are close to getting into the game. Currently in our loading screens, waiting to experience what could be our final game of the semifinals.
Yeah.
Which would make it our semifinal game of the semifinals. Because if this does go to Waterloo, then we are going to be heading off to a game number 3. It would be our first best of 3 that went all the way here in this tournament so far. So pretty excited to see this game get underway, and here we are.
There we go. Let's see what they decide to do here. As last time we saw a little bit of grouping from Waterloo, nothing came of it. Let's see if we can see if Maryville answers back on some of the shenanigans that went on.
Did see a fairly interesting start in game number 1. It was sort of like Waterloo grouping up and Maryville playing it safe and spreading out. Looks like both teams are actually spreading out, so shouldn't see too many eventful things happen off this level 1.
No, just a line of scrimmage being drawn up right now, and Shuriken's being thrown out by GamerX. So of course the Mystic shot from Prototype does land, so he's won that battle so far. And this is interesting. So they had an obvious choice of what they were doing last game with the Tristana push, but now Ezreal, he doesn't push very hard. He's actually one of the slowest pushers.
Yeah, Ezreal is actually a little bit more prone to being pushed in, and especially against a Lucian Thresh, they're going to be able to shove the wave very quickly early on and get that level 2 advantage. So it's generally not going to be a super good lane for Ezreal to be in. Might be a little bit behind, and that's why a lot of times you'll actually see lane swaps in that because Ezreal is a little bit weaker early on. But actually no lane swaps so far. We're actually just going to see standard lanes out of both teams.
Yeah, it's gonna be so. We're gonna see who the better laners are now, which is exciting. Just kind of rule out some of the strats of the split push that could be happening. But we're going to see what happens here. Jody Walrus starting on the bot side along with Sherb, so they're going to be mirroring each other's jungle path, coming around to that top lane around 3.5 minute mark. So yeah, pretty standard start for a game right now. This is probably the most standard start we've seen all day.
Yeah, and not a whole lot of aggression to be seen out of a lot of these lanes. I mean, we've got double tanks up top lane. We've got junglers who are not going to be looking for ganks for at least another minute and a half maybe. And the duo lanes shouldn't be going very aggressive either with this level 2 about to pop in here for Platoon and Junhyun.
Yeah, and you have to think, yeah, they got the level 2 pretty early, like you said. So it doesn't really throw much. I mean, unless Junhyun gets a hook, it's not really going to amount to too much. But meanwhile, in the mid lane, CatGod, look at this. He's actually shoving in GamerX.
Holy cow,
GamerX just wants to farm, and CatGod's like, no, you will starve because I am the Shrima God.
Right, Azir is actually one of the best champions to pick versus like melee matchups because you can just be so aggressive early on. Just really bully out that. Oh my gosh, that grab somehow lands, catches Prototype Black. Let's take a little bit of extra damage as the arcane shifts away.
Yeah, has to get out of there immediately. The shield from Bob Papa Chow was a little bit late. I don't think he thought that was going to land either. So got to be a little bit faster on those shields.
That minion's going on a diet, man. He is extra skinny, sort of like limboed out of the way there. But yeah, just look at all this pressure. And Gamer's actually going back in there. Sure did not flash to body slam knockup, which would have been very aggressive and probably wouldn't have paid off too well.
But with that being said, it may have been able to get a flash out of Cat God.
That is true.
Which a flash for a mid laner, flash for mid trade between a mid laner and jungler, always going to favor the jungler. But of course, Sherb, if he plays his cards right, could have went around to the other side or to the back side. Maybe didn't have to flash to get a body slam. But when it comes down to it, I would always take the flash trade if it's between a jungler for the jungler if it's between a jungler and a mid laner.
Right. Usually you do want to go for those trades, get those flashes out, and especially mid lane where it would help Gamers when he hits that level 6 to really put a lot of pressure on Cat God, especially if Cat God wasn't level 6 initially. But right now you're going to at least need to see a recall here for Gamers because he is not in a good spot health-wise. Definitely going to need to see him refill that refillable potion. But now here we go, another gank in the mid lane, but not a whole lot to be made out
Stream
of
of Shuffle's getting out of that one, so Cat God, great presence in mind here. But there is a flash in the top lane. Saskia trying to get onto Lake, but it was a little bit too premature. Chody Walrus was not in position yet, so Blake was just able to dredge light himself out of there, and he's going to be able to stay safe. But he is down a flash as well as he blew it in response to Saskia.
Oh man, we got a lot going on so far this game. It's 0-0, and so you're like, but Rapid, we haven't actually seen anything go on. And to some extent, I guess you're right. But the way that this early lane phase is playing out is actually kind of cool, because what you're seeing is priority mid for the jungle gank, so Sherb is helping out Gamers, which is very opposite from what we saw out of our first series, where it was very priority top for the junglers. This time around is actually a little bit interesting to see Chody not quite as aggressive so far. He's pretty much just like power farming, getting those levels up there, which is kind of weird for a Rek'Sai because he's not really a level 6 kind of champion.
Yeah, the most he can do is just get back to farming with the Void Rush. But yeah, and even last time we saw Sherb focus on the top lane a little bit and I think he got first blood out of that as well. But not happening this time around. It's and all around. It's honestly pretty even. The CS in the bot lane is extraordinarily even, only fluctuating between 1 or 2 CS. But yeah, both teams.
People are pretty hyped for minions dying, Pekez.
Well, I am too. Well, hold on. I would be hyped for a death sentence landing on a prototype, but that did not happen.
Nah, not close. I mean, to be fair, Jun Hyung has gotten pretty lucky on those death sentences. So, pretty exciting to see all of that so far. All I want to know is what the next move is. Top lane, though, the gank onto Lake, putting that pressure on. I guess that was the next move, but once again, not going to pay off. That's Dredge line is pretty good at getting yourself out of trouble.
Yeah, and that's one of the benefits of being a top lane Nautilus, is you have plenty of walls to choose from. It's a short lane, has a nice curve. You throw that dredge line to a very advantageous place and just drag yourself to safety. But man, I don't know why everyone's cheering. Nothing's happening.
I mean, something's about to happen eventually.
So they're just like doing
right,
proactive,
right,
retroactive. Probably.
Maybe.
Probably. Retroactive cheers?
I don't know, man. Looking for the death sentence lane, does not land.
That was
actually already
near.
shifting in.
Now they're going to go in. He gets knocked out by the tornado. He has flash available. Exhaust being thrown down on Prototype Black. He flashes in. Auto attack. Prototype Black gets the first kill. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, though, Gamer X actually assassinating Cat God. It's a very nice play in a trade, but so far, Prototype Black, he got the first blood.
That is going to be first blood, but still a kill coming right back. Gamers using all that new Zed power. Actually did get the shifting sands, there we go, out of Cat God, but it wasn't enough to get him far enough out, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade overall.
Yeah, and it's the Inferno Drake.
All right, so we do get to see a different first dragon. Now, Inferno Drake is essentially like you would have expected the first dragon buff to be, back before the elemental changes. When you do take this down, you will get, I think, 6% additional ability power and attack damage. So,
yeah, it scales up to 24% on the third dragon, which is incredible. That is a huge amount of power. But yeah, the first one only 8%, but it's still a nice advantage over to Maryville.
Yeah, so you're going to get that buff initially early on, and actually what I've seen happen a couple of times from like pro players talking about it on Twitter is that maybe 3 Inferno Drakes spawn early on, so all of a sudden you're 20 minutes into the game, and the opponents are 24% stronger than you are just based on the items they bought. That's a little bit disgusting, and it doesn't really happen that often, but you do have to adapt to the different Drakes when they do spawn. And
not only that, like the NRG aspect of that.
RNG,
I'm sorry about the NRG.
One of those.
Team. Yeah. The RNG aspect of that, it makes it hard to plan what's going to happen and how plan around dragons, because your team might not really need movement speed early on. What they may need would be more tower pushing. So then you might not prioritize that dragon. But then again, wow, that was an
explosive cast.
That
go
was
down mid lane. Death Sentence landing bottom, no flay to follow up.
Yeah, Sherb, I think was trying. Hold on. We got more fight in the bot lane here. There's the calling coming out. Nice monsoon. Coming out from Papa Chow. Platoon, he's in trouble. He goes down. Prototype picking up that kill.
Platoon got ditched there. And to be fair, Junhee Hyung couldn't really do anything. He was very low health, but man, that culling put a lot of damage into Prototype, just not enough. Papa Chow there with the shields. They're coming in to help him out there, and that's going to be a big win for that Maryville duo lane.
Yeah, they're starting out strong already. It's already more kills than it was this time around last game, but then, of course, like I said, it was 1 kill till about 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and then they just exploded. This time, both teams are playing a little bit slower, but Maryville still coming out on top in a slow game. And they can still push turrets, too, by the way, with Cat God. Just he needs to stay in lane. Although, despite that death, Cat God's still pretty far up in CS right now against Gamer X.
All right, well, we've already seen the strength of Zed once. We're about to see it again as his backup, but he's just getting chunked down so heavily. Cat God, I mean, really playing that matchup very, very well, using the range versus melee matchup abuse to really put Gamer XZ in a position he just really can't do anything in. Now, that might have been a spot where he could, but you notice the ignite and exhaust timings are exactly the same. So as soon as Gamers has kill potential again, Cat God to be able to neuter that with his own summoner spell.
And I know we've talked about it a lot throughout the CSL season. Well, let's point out that Prototype Black, he is one of those ADCs, one of the very few ADCs that takes exhaust rather than heal. Let's Papa Chow do the healing. It's because Prototype Black, he loves Vayne. You know what Vaynes love doing? They love dueling. So he does that with every ADC champion as well.
Kind of strange to see that on an Ezreal that's usually going to be pretty far back. You're not going to really get up there and use that. But if you are beset by any tanks, you can definitely cut their damage down. And of course, assassins like Zed, you're definitely going to need that exhaust when the time comes.
Yeah, hold on now. Prototype Black, here comes a teleport from Saskio. He shifts right into Junhee Hyung. Takes him down. Twisted Advance. I meant to call it Twisted Advance earlier. Does pick up the kill onto Junhee Hyung. Saskio making that worth it on the teleport.
Not sure about that flash from Saskio there. But still, hey, a kill's a kill. Putting Maryville up 3-1.
Yeah, very much so. And they are going to possibly take a turret after this one. So I'll gladly trade a kill and a flash, a kill and a turret for a flash, even if it might have been unintentional sometimes. Like, you don't absolutely know you're going to get the kill. And if you don't get that kill, you don't get the turret. Very good snowball reward that they just got to get there.
Yeah. That Azir recall is like the coolest thing ever. I don't know if it's like from Diablo 3 or if it's from like Lord of the Rings or something.
Oh, Lich King,
whatever it is so sick. What's your favorite skin, Tekez?
Overall?
Yes.
Oh, golly.
So many to choose from.
Yeah, there are. Give me a moment, I'll think about that. It'll come during a team fight, and I'll just stop commentating. And I was like, oh, it's this one.
Mine used to be Exiled Morgana, but her splash art just like totally changed, so I'm having to look for a new one there.
You know which one it really is? It's actually Pulsefire Ezreal, because I love Mega Man.
Oh, that is true.
Mega Man's pretty badass.
He has a blue helmet though. Like that's,
yeah, he does. He's got like a.
Maybe he doesn't have any more lives, so that means he doesn't have that helmet on.
Hold on, we have possibly a knockup coming. 2 knockups. No, nice flash out of the knockup from Chody Walrus, but they are still going to tower dive this one with the monsoon.
Papa Chow,
he's gonna go down, but he is going to take that kill. It's like, hey guys, I'm sacrificing myself. This is my kill.
Yeah, I think he thought he was gonna get out one turret shot later on.
Yeah.
He did trade his life there, but it was for a good cause. He was trying for that Windsec Janna play, but instead he just shoved Lake against the wall. He still wound up dying, but hey man, a kill's a kill. You're trading your support for the enemy top laner.
Right.
I think that's a pretty good trade to make.
Yeah, very much so. And they're able to pressure that top lane turret. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, hold on, Cat God getting aggressive onto GamerX. He still has
Might be
Death Mark
turning that
up.
around. Sherb's here.
Sherb, you're here, baby. What are you going to do? You have explosive cast, but they're just going to let him go. Or not. Never mind. Cat God, he turns back around. What is he doing? They're so hesitant.
There's so much outplay potential here because Cat God has not only that Emperor Survive, but he's also got Exhaust up as well. So you can say you can see a lot of outplay potential there is what I'm trying to say. So top lane though, Lake in a little bit of a rough spot there. Prototype pushing him down, trying to catch him out, but backs off. Decides that pink ward is way cooler. Wants to take that one down instead.
Vision is like most of this game, honestly. So I don't blame him for taking out the pink ward, and it takes so much less time to take out the pink ward. So might as well only 4 shots as opposed to 5, thanks to the new 6.9 patch update. But the next dragon is going to be up in 5 seconds. I think it is the cloud dragon. I think it's called. Is that what that symbol is? That's not the water dragon. Yeah, that's a cloud
so
dragon.
That is going to be a cloud drake here. This is dragon number 2. In case you guys were needing to keep count, I guess the counters in spectator mode don't quite update just yet. It's a brand new patch.
Right.
Everybody's trying to get used to it, including the counters. So this is our second dragon. We've seen one Inferno Drake. Now we're going to Cloud. Cloud does give you 15 movement speed for each one that you take. So you'll be picking up 15 here from this Cloud Drake that is now live.
Really no contention over it. There's quite a bit of ward coverage though coming out from Waterloo around that area. 2 pink wards actually within the vicinity as well. Prototype Black, he's starting the blue buff. He may just take this blue buff, thinking he might need it more than Cat God. So that's
Hey man, you don't have to fight Chody for it, man. The Walrus
gonna give it
in
to
the
Prototype.
building. And yeah, he actually did give it away. Okay,
yeah.
So a good guy, Chody Walrus. Pretending like this is Korean solo queue where you just can't take the blue buff as a jungler. Catguard already had one, so he had to give it to the other carry. And to be fair, Blue Ezreal good with the blue buff, and now even faster with a Cloud Drake being taken by Maryville University.
That is the second dragon of the game, so they're going to add that to their already present Infernal Drake. That, like as we talked about earlier, giving them the 8% bonus damage, but now going to add 15 movement speed while they're out of combat. So going to be flying around, and that's actually pretty big when you have Papa Chow and Janna. That's a lot of movement speed after a little bit of time.
It certainly is, especially if you get multiple ones of them. And we won't quite know, what's the next. Okay, so the next one's an Ocean Drake. You can see that decal on the dragon wall.
Yeah. Still no mountain. Still no mountain Drake.
Nope, no mountain drakes. Mountain drakes are like, they're hidden up there in the mountains. They're like smog, they gotta hoard their gold up there. You gotta go a long way to get to them.
Yeah, I guess
See if they decide to come out and play later on. For now, we're getting different drakes every single time, and we're getting a nice rotation to the mid lane. Here for Waterloo, looking to put some pressure onto Cat God, but I don't think he'll have too many problems, clearing that out with those Sand Soldiers, Janna Shield on, and really nothing amounting to that push for Waterloo.
No, not at all. Of course you do. I mean, anytime you have an Azir, you're going to have trouble pushing because you can just clear waves so fast. We're seeing that right now.
Good positioning there by Chody Walrus too, because the way that you take that turret as Waterloo is you shove the wave in and then have a flank from your jungler or top laner from around the side. And so Chody was there saying, hey, if they're going to try to take this turret and flank us there, I'm going to be there to stop that. So really good way to sort of layer the defenses there for Maryville, keep their mid lane turret alive, and hey man, they're up about 3,000 gold here at 16 minutes. So we're already on par with their performance in game number 1.
Yeah, and speaking of game number 1, by this point, the front door had been kind of blown open by Maryville, so it's still a very slow game. A very small lead for Maryville, only about 3,000. Which I guess, I say small, that's actually pretty significant. But hold on, sure, he's going to get Papa Chow knocked back with the explosive cast. Nice Monsoon, though, and Prototype Black dodging the death.
Oh my god, Platoon!
Platoon, he gets taken down. One less mystic shot does it. Nice Emperor's Divide going to stop Waterloo from advancing even further. Sean Hume going down as well. Gamer X, he falls. Also double kill going over to Prototype Black in the end. Saskio being brought back in. it. Now,
All right,
nice
man.
turret rotation by Chody Walrus and Saskio, trading up the damage, and that is a 3-for-0 in favor of Waterloo. Not Waterloo, Maryville. Sorry about
You
that.
can hear Maryville fans in
Man.
the building. 17
I love it.
minutes into the game and a 7-2 lead. Maryville already right on par with where they were in game number 1. They're just trying to make it as a bigger and bigger lead, trying to widen that gap with a Rift Herald takedown right here. Rift Herald buff lasts not 1, not 2, but 20 minutes.
That was
only
the next
spawns
number
once.
after 2.
So no more Rift Heralds, man. And he's Dunzo. He's like, you know, the Kiwi and thousands of other species. No longer on the Rift. I guess we never saw any of those on the Rift in the first place. But he's kind of like that little frog that hops off the edge of the cliff as the game starts.
That's so
I don't know if
sad.
you guys have ever seen that. He's just like hop, hop, and then he's.
You know, I've actually always thought that the Rift Herald was like the Silver Surfer, because that's the Silver Surfer is a herald for Galactus, and he's actually a peaceful creature, a peaceful person for the most part.
He's like the purple surfer.
No, he's silver.
No, like.
Oh,
Rift
I
Herald.
see what you mean. Okay, yeah.
But he doesn't surf at all. I guess he's in the water. I guess he.
Well,
could
what I'm
surf.
getting at is that, you know, Silver Surfer, he's decently peaceful. He's just kind of enslaved by Galactus. That might be what the Rift Herald's about.
Yeah, who's enslaving
That's
the Rift
probably
Herald?
when
Like
he
Baron
died.
Nashor or something?
When he dies, he's probably just like, all right, man, I don't want to come here anymore. You guys suck. I just want to be happy. He's just trying to find places for Baron
I mean,
to stay.
hopefully he went to his happy place, Fekes, because
I
he
hope
is
so,
not
too.
respawning on this Rift. It'll be about 2 minutes, about 1 minute until Baron Nashor spawns. And at that point, that's where things get a little bit more exciting. Sherb here trying to take a blue buff, and he will actually get that, but that does mean that it doesn't go on to gamers. It also doesn't get stolen away by Saskio, who is pushing up that mid lane and putting out some ward coverage along the way.
A lot of damage onto Gamer X with the very few moves used by Cat God. He is in a very comfortable position, having that Nash's Tooth and a defense with the Gauntlet against Gamer X. So,
Man, this game has been prototype black. He's 4-0 right
yeah.
now.
Last game was prototype black. I barely noticed it though.
To be true, he didn't pick up a lot of the kill credit, but he did actually have a lot of success at helping Maryville take down objectives,
Right.
which, big surprise, is what they're currently attempting to do now. They're just doing things like chunking down Junhyung a little bit ahead of schedule.
And
back up in that top lane, Zaskio still on the split push, so
yeah.
objectives always on their mind.
And there's no teleport to answer it, so there's going to. Was that 350 gold on Platoon?
It certainly is.
What was that about?
I'm not sure where he got. Oh, it was the completion of his cull.
Okay. That makes sense. I was like, where did that come from? Hold on, Saskio though.
Top lane, Lake's trying to take him down. He's got Platoon, but I don't know if you really want to dash
Oh my God,
into
yeah,
the tank
he's
there.
going to go in on a Platoon. He's like, I can take this. Lake isn't going to do any damage. Saskio though, he is very low on mana. Jun Hyung going to try to get over there, but the Gromp is going to block the Descendant, so Saskio, he makes it out. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I don't really know. I think at that point, like, Platoon, like, dashes into the vengeful Maelstrom, and all of a sudden he's like, wait a second, I have a squishy 80 carry with 1.5 completed items, and yeah, it's not going to work out.
Yeah. All right, so Cat God shoving into the mid lane. Still, despite some of the plays that are made, a very passive game, but even more to that, Maryville, they've slowly gained themselves a 6,000 gold lead, and now they're getting their third dragon of the game.
3 dragons, man. One of, each one of the dragons has been different, so they're just getting all kinds of elemental bumps. If this game does go to 35 minutes, the Elder Drake will buff them up a lot, so we'll have to see if Waterloo can take it there. They do have some aggressive potential. You already saw a gamer actually solo kill Cat God there in the mid lane earlier, so that's definitely a source of strength for Waterloo. It just really hasn't shown up again, thanks to that exhaust summoner spell chosen by Cat God.
And I want to point out real quick that that also the next dragon is going to be the Infernal Dragon. It'll be the second Infernal Dragon for Maryville if they're able to obtain that, which will double their percent bonus power to 16. That's pretty substantial.
Yeah, definitely. You have to get there. 35 minutes is a very, very long way away. Gamer, you can see waiting right around that corner, but Chody Walrus going in on the Sherb.
Yeah, not really much going to happen there. He's going to body slam himself out of there. Destin's landing on a Chody Walrus, but again, he hits all these wrong targets. But there is the damage of Cat God being able to just only a couple of hits onto Jun Hyung, and they were able just to completely zone him out.
All right, well, here we go now, Chody Walrus. Now Chody Walrus in a pretty good spot, and I think the big thing, or the biggest thing rather, for me is now Baron Nashor being started. So what do you do here? This is sort of Maryville sort of calling the bluff of Waterloo. Do they want to come contest this Baron Nashor? It is very strong, but it is but not for long, as it does go down as Baron buff number 1 for Maryville University.
Yeah, now Gamer X is trying to catch somebody out here. Sure, he does have explosive cast up, so he can blow them back if he needs to, but he's going to get out of there. And now this is Maryville's, Maryville is solidly in control. They are 9,000 up right now. 2 kills to 7 in their favor, 1 turret to 4. And yeah, Prototype Black, he's split pushing as an Ezreal. That's, you don't see that too often.
The good old Ezreal split push. I don't know about that one, man, but it is effective, still putting the pressure on there. Chody Walrus coming all the way back out of base with Farm Alarm out, putting pressure onto the top lane. And not even just putting pressure, look at the ward coverage here, dropping those down. He did go with that Tracker's Knife. You've also seen the, Eye of the Equinox, I believe, or Eye of the Wardens, rather, picked up by Papa Chow, and that entire bottom half of the map just absolutely covered by wards. This it reminds me a little bit of like Season 3 when supports could buy as many wards as they wanted to.
Best time.
You used to see the jungle, much like last night, it's lit with quite a few wards down there, definitely lighting everything up. So Maryville pushing down at the top lane. Did you have Baron and powered minions here? A lot of damage, a lot of poke here from CatGod. And oh man, here goes Sherb.
Sherb goes in on the Prototype Black, but he just arcane shifts out, throws down the explosive cast. So that is a depth charge and explosive cast down. Here comes the call as well. Platoon used the call. So that's 3 ultimates down for Waterloo. That's pretty huge.
He's literally using his cull for the culling.
Yes,
he didn't actually work out very well, taking the pressure off, but those Baron buffed up minions are just going to keep pushing ever into the Waterloo base. Prototype there does actually get picked, but he disjoints it.
Oh, and another hook lands in the backside. They finally take down Prototype Black. And this might be what Waterloo needs, but there's so much power. CatGod is still very powerful. Exhaust going down.
Gamer's going in.
Oh, no, that wasn't Exhaust. That was Gamer X going in with a death mark. Is anything else? No, that wasn't Exhaust. CatGod, he threw down his exhaust. My God, man.
Well, even though Prototype did get not hooked once, but hooked twice.
Yeah.
Because
it
takes 2 hooks to hook the guy. I'm not even sure that's going to be enough because we're still seeing pushes on not 1, but 2 lanes. Top lane, bottom lane. They're both getting pushed in. Saskio in the cool 1v4.
Why not?
He's backing out.
I'm Papa Chow, and Chody Walrus just going to make their way through the mid lane. It's kind of chaos right now. They're doing whatever they want. Maryville has complete control of this game. 12K up now, and they have increased their turret lead to 7 turrets over the 1 that Waterloo has. They increased it by. There are 7 turrets up over Waterloo, making it 8. Yeah, I got it.
8 total, 7 up. We got it.
It is starting to get to that long day point for me.
Man, yeah, it's really coming down to it. We've had 1 best of 3, and we might be looking at the end of our 2nd best of 3 here. If Maryville continues to crush this game down, they are over 12,000 gold in the lead currently, and I was accurate to 100 gold there, so mathematics win, and probably a win coming up here for Maryville if things don't change drastically. Waterloo, oh man, they're getting caught out. Platoon!
You can't 1v1 the guy who has exhaust, and he didn't even use it. You can't 1v1 the guy who has 1, 5, and 2. Holy hell, he's going to exhaust onto the Zed. Gamer X, he falls. Prototype Black, you beast. There's Papa Chow, going to help him out. Prototype, he's going in there. Here comes the teleport from Saskio. Now, Jun Hung, he finally lands the hook that he wants, but he's going to get knocked up. I'm Papa Chow, picking up that kill. I know the crowd loves it too, but here comes Chody Walrus as well, along with CatGod in the back lines, and that might be game.
And that is going to be it. We're seeing GG's come out in chat. That is going to be game at number 2, with maybe a last-ditch effort there from Saskio, but a 4-0 surrender vote coming out. That is a 10-3 victory for Maryville University.
And congratulations to them. They advance on to the finals to take on McMaster University. That'll be coming up very shortly. Congratulations to Waterloo. They do fall out of the tournament. They are going to Well, they came here to enjoy Dreamhack, so they still have that. They have the third, I don't know who, the third or second place prize. I'm not sure how that's determined. There is going to be possibly an off-stream game between them and Robert Morris University to determine who the third place contestant will be.
Actually, I believe both third and fourth place get about $1,000.
Oh, okay, so this is split evenly.
First and second place is really where the action's at. $7,000 for first place, $3K for second place. That's what's going to be so awesome here coming up. We get a chance to head into our grand finals, which will be between our returning grand finalists from last year's McMaster's University as they face off against the new hotness of the collegiate scene. It's Maryville University. They're coming off of a strong 2-0 win here. Strong 2-0s for both teams. So stick around, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our grand finals of the Collegiate Starleague's finals here at Dreamhack Austin. So you don't want to miss it. Stick around, we'll be right back.